Oh, extreme axes to grind, going full panic mode, and what a pain in the glass. Holy smokes. Today we're breaking down and reacting to the most colorful medical scenes and creative injuries from Helluva Boss. Let's dive right in. Oh, let's just walk over a hemisected human being. We see some intestines, some blood, bad car accident maybe. I have seen individuals that have been hit by cars, and from wherever they were hit down, all of that is dead tissue because the blood supply has been cut off. Teleprompter. Electrocution, that'll shock your heart. We use electricity to shock a heart even after it's been electrocuted and go into an abnormal rhythm. You can also have a breakdown of your blood cells and muscles, leading to toxins and byproducts left over in the blood, causing kidney failure. The only thing I ever think about when somebody's foaming at the mouth is theoretically rabies, but we don't see that very often. It's very rare to have rabies come into the emergency department. Oh! Gunshot wounds, close range shots like this, depending on where it hits, people a lot of times don't come to the emergency department because they might be pronounced on scene. Why is it causing somebody to go up in flames? Maybe it's holy water. There are liquid chemicals we do have to worry about. But if you ever have some sort of chemical spill on your skin, look at the back of the bottle. In the United States, your next thing would be to call the poison control. Oh. Knives getting through the skull doesn't happen that often. I've seen so many people have knife wounds where somebody's trying to stab them in the skull and it just caused a lot of lacerations to the soft tissue and not embed into the skull. Whoa. I think that character is no longer living. Multiple stab wounds to the chest. If you're hitting the heart, you're putting a lot of holes into it, causing massive problems. But I've seen where people haven't gone all the way through the bone and they're just stabbing the soft tissue, or the bone itself and the sternum is blocking it. The person is safe and okay. Most of the time when we see explosive injuries, we're seeing compressive forces that cause trauma, perforated eardrums. You can have some bleeding, hearing loss, and tinnitus, or ringing in the ears. You can also have debris fly into your eyes. You can have debris penetrate into your tissues. Actually, that's pretty funny. The character is using the skeleton, using the spinal column. We see the skull is attached to the spinal column. It's not really attached. It's all kind of like free floating. And that's why we have so many different structures to hold everything together. The skin, the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles. Even these animators are using the intestines in one big string. You know me, I want mesentery. It needs to be all connected. It just doesn't come out like that. Eyeball just popping out. So they did a nice job depicting like blood vessels of the eye. But remember, the eye is attached by 6 muscles plus the optic nerve. So it's not really gonna pop out of your head. It's gonna take a lot of effort to sever all of that. Oh, impaled objects into the body. You know what I say, don't pull it out. You're impaled on these objects. You need to either figure out how to cut them on the other side, or the only chance you have at survival is to potentially pull yourself off. And sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, we do see, unfortunately, people coming to the emergency department with strangulation injuries. The big things that we worry about is tracheal damage, soft tissue swelling around the airway, and then the other thing is the blood vessels in your neck. We will do a CT angiogram of your neck to make sure that there's no intimal tear, which can cause strokes and bleeding and massive other problems. Oh, that would be 4th degree burn, and that's not good, and that amount of burn is not survivable. Uh-oh. What? You gotta be really careful with fireworks, increase the risk of fire hazards, especially if your area is very dry. So again, please be careful. choking episodes. Remember, the universal sign that you're choking is your hands around your neck. You would do the Heimlich maneuver, abdominal thrust, basically, in an adult from behind.
From behind. Women, kids, and cute little face puppy looking things.
Who's run into a glass door before? Smacked forehead, hematoma, redness. Hopefully nothing dangerous happened, but people break their nose. Sometimes they fall through the glass and cause laceration. So let me know if you've had any of those moments in your life.
Fall over here. What's going on? Shut the
We get so many forklift injuries, you'd be so surprised. Some simple as like the forklift running over a foot versus the metal forks like causing trauma to individuals, or even just like crates falling on people when they're trying to lift them. Oh my gosh, what happened in this scenario? All I see is bones and people stuck on the wall, limbs everywhere. And of course, I'm seeing random intestines. When in doubt, throw a random intestine in there. I see a random bone that's supposed to be the neck, but it looks more like a random bone, like a humerus or something. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Oh, awful. Shattered glass, and then literally the guys carrying it get impaled. Most of the time when we see people with glass, it's small little shards that are in wounds. Last one I really had to deal with was a pretty large piece of glass inside of a foot. I was able to get it out. It was very satisfying for everybody involved. You anesthetize the area so it doesn't hurt an individual. See, electrocution within water. Water is not a good conductor of electricity, but if there are impurities, if it's dirty, if there's other things within the water, it then turns into a conductor. Please be careful around water and electronics and anything plugged in. Awful. This is an awful depiction of it. We do get electrocutions that do come to the emergency department on massive spectrum of scale. One is AC, the other one's DC. The alternating current causes you to hold on to it and causes flexion. Versus DC, it's one big explosive energy power. The pandemonium in these scenes are off the charts. Just watching this might make your stress levels rise. If you're dealing with the occasional stress of normal life, Chillax by my company, Life Happens, can help. Check it out at lifehappens.com or on Amazon. Oh. Falling out a window. Won the glass, but falling from a great height. In medicine, for a trauma activation, it's a fall greater than 3 times your own height in the state of California. But we have this criteria, so we have a high degree of suspicion in case there is something wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that something has happened. This is a crazy show. It's intense. There's some fun music and there's good graphics. But all in all, I think it's just there to entertain us on another level. Hopefully I entertained you with some of my medical knowledge, and if you guys enjoyed it, definitely check out this playlist right here, binge watch everything. And as always, please make sure you subscribe. Let's keep this channel rolling, as well as hit that like button and click on your bell notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.